Hello and welcome to the Yellow Couch. I am Jillian. I'm the owner of Islay Terrace, a gift shop, yarn shop, and book shop here in Hudson, Massachusetts. And our little podcast features what's happening at our shop, upcoming events, new products, book recommendations. If that all sounds good to you, stick around. Our shop is named after our little cat, Isla. She doesn't hang out at the shop, but she's behind the scenes at home. For our second episode, I wanted to tell you a little bit about everything that I have knit so far this year. I went into this year with an extremely ambitious goal to knit some kind of top, garment, t-shirt-like object for my body. So not a shawl, but some kind of like shirt or sweater every single month this year. And I went into this project without any kind of planning. So I just had a vague goal for myself, but no actual plan, no structure. I didn't make a spreadsheet or have any kind of plan of what I was actually going to do. So I periodically would list things on Ravelry. I haven't kept it super up to date, which also meant that, as I mentioned last episode, I was working on my pressed flowers cardigan for August, which should have been top number 8. And as I was working on this episode, I started to actually put together a spreadsheet and realized that that was not top number 8. It was actually top number 9, which is good news because I actually have some sad news, which is that I put my pressed flowers cardigan in a timeout. I just wasn't happy with how it was turning out. The colors were not popping and giving the contrast that I wanted for it. Some people are monogamous knitters. That's me. I can only really work on one project at a time. So when I put something in timeout, it usually means that I'm not coming back to it and we're not getting back together. So unfortunately, I feel like I'm going to be frogging the whole pressed flowers. I like the pattern a lot, which means I'll probably come back to it just with a different yarn. But I will take you into what I'm working on right now. Sorry, bending down. Currently working on my new whip for August, which is the Monument Sweater by Andrea Mowry. And this is doing exactly what pressed flowers was not doing for me, which it has really nice contrast between the two colors, and I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I'm knitting this in Wing and a Prayer Farms farm yarn, which is this green, light green one here, which is very minty colored, and I'm pairing that with Kelbourne Woolens, which I actually sell over here. This is not the color, but it's Camper, and I really like this. So this is doing exactly what pressed flowers wasn't. It has this lovely contrast. This is going to be bottom up sweater. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. So I'll probably come back to a pressed flowers eventually with a different yarn, different color choices, because I really did like the pattern a lot. And I really like how it looks. I just really want those flowers and the geometry of it to really pop in the way that this one's working. So, but this isn't actually my August pattern. As you'll see, this is actually now my September pattern. So that's exciting news to know that I'm one more sweater ahead than I thought I was going to be. You might be wondering why I chose to do a What I've Knit This Year episode in the end of August. And it's really because my knitting slows down a lot when we get September to December because it's the busiest time at the store. So I think I'll probably end up getting through the Moonman sweater, hopefully 3 more garment-like tops, but I'm not even sure that's fully going to happen. So I wanted to share everything I've knit because not only is it sweaters, I also have quite a little pile of other projects over here, which you can kind of see one of my friends hanging out on the side. So without further ado, I want to share everything that I've knit so far this year. And the first project I'm going to start out with is this cardigan. It is the Kallias by Isabell Kramer. It is knit with Primrose Yarn Company's Replay Worsted, which I purchased last year, and New York Sheep and Wool. It's very hard to see. I'm sorry. These are, I'm going to do my best with these sweaters, holding them up. It is a cardigan. They're all going to be a little bit wrinkly too because they've been in my drawer folded. It's not exactly sweater season, but this is a really nice cozy cardigan. It's a little bit cropped. It has this really nice fun stitch pattern here. This was really great. I wore this to H&H Americas and was like a really, really nice travel cozy cardigan to wear. My second pattern, which was my my February sweater, was the Off the Grid Pullover by Juliette Pecaut Designs. It's knit with Imperial yarn Denali. Oh my gosh, this is so wrinkly. Oh, I should have blocked these all, but that would have been a lot of work. It's a really nice alpaca and rambly blend. Juliette is a local knitwear designer, and I actually was a test knitter for this pattern, and I love this sweater. It's really cozy. I'm not doing it justice with how wrinkly this is. Oh geez, this is a disaster. Doing my best here, folks. My March sweater, I don't have that to share. It was called Sweater by a designer called GrannyNadya. I purchased the pattern on Etsy, but it was gifted. I don't do a lot of gifted knits, but my sister, who is a figure skater, wanted something light and airy to figure skate wearing, and I knit it with like a sparkly mohair. So it was a cute little cropped, light sparkly mohair sweater that I knit for her, and we got the yarn at a secondhand craft store in upstate New York. So unfortunately, don't have a picture of that, but you can kind of get an idea. My April sweater was the Throwover by Andrea Mowry. Oh my God, these are so wrinkly. And this one is knit. Oh, this is my own hand spun yarn here. This is nice. This is my hand spun yarn right up here. And it's also knit paired with Shetland wool from Redbud Farms, which is a local farm. I purchased both of these, both the yarn that I spun and Redbud's Shetland here. I got both of these at Farm Fiber Day in Wayland. So this is a nice, really like local sweater. Also, it's so cozy and warm. I finished this one kind of in mid-April, and I didn't get a ton of chances to wear it because it is like a heavy duty, really, really cozy sweater, but it is great. I can't wait to wear it in those like 10-degree days in December. And my second April sweater, this is what threw me off and why I ended up one ahead, because I didn't keep track, and I actually knit two sweaters in April because that one just flew off the needles and this one also flew off the needles. This is the Lento Sweater. Oh geez, it's got like a little snag here. We're fine. Everything's fine. The Lento Sweater, and it's knit with Blue Sky Fibers Prairie, held together with Cascade Heritage. Both the Heritage had been in my stash for like a million years, so I'm glad to finally like use it up. Also, this is my first time holding a fingering weight double with like an alpaca, and it was absolutely dreamy. I loved this so much, and I can't wait to make like a million more Lento sweaters because this was just like truly amazing. I need to reblock it because it got like a little bump here from being in my closet. But yeah, this sweater, it just flew off the needles and it's an absolute dream. I can't wait to make like 100 more Lento sweaters. And my May project is what I'm actually wearing right now. It is the Tolsta Tee by Rebecca Clow, and it's knit with Knit Picks Stroll Tweed, which was actually a sweater project that I had sitting and hanging out for a while that was half done and I never finished. So I frogged the whole thing and was able to make this instead. I'll kind of stand up a little bit so you can see. It's very cute. I have it over a dress right now, but it's like a really nice little t-shirt. And my June project was the Sailor Swift tank top, and I knit this in Kelbourne Woolens Skipper. I had a lot of trouble with this pattern. I'm assuming that this is a me problem rather than a pattern problem. I had to frog it back many times. It still doesn't fit me like super correctly. I think the armholes are like a little big. I'm not really sure what I did wrong. I don't know. I don't think it's the pattern. I think it's more just me, and I don't knit a lot of tank tops. So I really think that like it was just a me problem, because other people really seem to love this pattern. And my July is the Ridge Cardigan by Bluebird Pine Shop. And this is knit with Brooklyn Tweed Shelter, RIP. And I know a lot of knitters are going to clutch their pearls at this, but I'm going to tell you something that I do or don't do. I don't block all of my sweaters. I have blocked all of these sweaters that are here on the floor, but there are some sweaters that I don't block, and I still love them, and I love how they fit. But this is a sweater that absolutely demands blocking. Before blocking, all of these little ridges were like, and it was like wearing like a little like glowworm that was like cinched up. Once I blocked it, it stretched out really, really nicely. And this is a really delightful cardigan that I have not actually worn yet because it is the middle of the summer and it is a very heavy worsted weight cardigan. But once it gets like sweater weather season, I think this is going to be a big time wardrobe staple. So that is all of the tops that I've knit so far this year. And I will then show you everything that is not a top that is hanging out over here. Okay, so for our other aside projects that I've knit so far this year, we have the Alpine Shawl. This is a big project. This is by Knit Sisu, and it is knit with Malabrigo Arroyo and Blue Sky Fibers Prairie. And this was a Malabrigo knit along earlier this year. This was really pretty, really soft. This is a really nice shawl. I've worn it a few times. I really enjoy doing shawls. I think they're a really nice project. They're really cozy, especially. I mean, I kind of wear them like scarves, like wrapped around like this, instead of wearing them shawl style. And let's see, our next project here is the Harlow Flip Hat by Andrea Mowry. This was knit in Quince & Co. Lark and Catskill Merino wool that I purchased a couple of years ago at New York Sheep and Wool. And this was my very first brioche project, which I think this hat is really good if you're just starting to get into brioche. Like, this was a nice, easy beginner brioche hat. And the cool thing about this is that it is, as it's called, flips. So it does have, it's double-sided. Although I like my hats with pom-poms. I might choose a side and put a pom-pom on it, just because I'm a pom-pom person. There are removable pom-poms, so I might do that. I might put a little pom on here. And let's see. Oh, I knit my mom a beret. I don't have a picture of that or the pattern, but we picked out the yarn together at New York Sheep and Wool last year. It was purple. And I knit 2 Sophie scarves this year. Here's one of them. I know some people say that they never see Sophie scarves in the wild. I really like mine. I have worn it a couple times. I think it's very cute. It kind of fits my aesthetic. I think it's like, it's cute little, I'll put it on now. Cute little thing to just wrap around. It is very European aesthetic. I also knit one for my mom and gifted it. So I've knit 2 of these this year. Both of them were in cotton that were like leftovers from other projects. And as you know, I've knit 2 of the Candy Shop shawls so far this year. This one is in Quince & Co. And this one is in Quince & Co. along with Junction Fiber Mill. And we have here our emotional support chicken. This is the second emotional support chicken I've made. This one is actually from our spinning guild. We had a challenge to knit a 4-color skein. So it has 4 colors, well, and the white, but the color here is a 4-color skein, and we had to knit or spin a 4-color skein, and then I knit my chicken with that yarn. So you can see him. I haven't given him a name yet, but he'll get a name. And I'll show you a project that is in my current WIP project. It's a year-long project that I've been working on. And it is my book snake. So I'll do a larger episode about the book snake probably at the end of the year to show you the whole book snake once he's finished. But this is my book snake. And the book snake is a pattern by Han Lee, and essentially it tracks all of the books that I've read this year. So each book genre gets a color, and then each one I'm also tallying by book length. So you can see what genres I've been reading, but also the length of them. So this is tracking all my books for the year. That's up to date right now. So this is my book snake. He's very cute. So I know that's a lot. I ran through that really quick because I didn't want to dilly-dally on anything for too long. So that's the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed my quick little run through of everything that I've knit. Just a reminder, I'll be releasing episodes every 2 weeks. They'll probably be about 5 to 10 minutes long. This one seems to have gone on pretty long. Next week, I'll give you everything that we're doing for the Greater Boston Yarn Crawl, show you some of my handspun yarn, my own botanically dyed yarn, and all of the yarn crawl stuff that's happening. If you like this, definitely subscribe, give a like, let me know what you're knitting, what you plan to knit, and see you in 2 weeks. Thanks to everybody for sticking around. Here's a little bonus content. Our shop dog Watson was a very good little boy and was sitting right next to me while filming this episode. So here he is. You can say hi to Watson.